Happy Valentine's Day. I think it's really easy for some trans people to think that they'll never have a Valentine ever and no one will ever fucking love them. But you know what? That's not true. It's not true at all. So let's do a little vlog. Let's answer some questions and let's be happy on Valentine's Day because you won't be alone forever. I promise you, as I'm not alone. And you aren't either because you will always have me on your phone. Anyway, let's get this day going. We'll have a run. I just lifted. Let's do it. Every single day I walk to and from campus. I'm a college student. I'm studying political science, but have dreams to go into marketing for some reason. I don't know why I'm in poli-sci, but I get to walk this beautiful little site every single day. And then get to walk to campus as well. And it's great. It's so great. So, yeah. Fit for the run, I've got the Shox Minis version 1, Carhartt hat from the girlfriend, Garmin Forerunner 255, just an H&M hoodie, Gymshark tight pants, Nike socks, and then we're going with Hoka Clifton 9s. These are the only shoes that I'll run in now. I tried the ASIC Nimbus 26s, not a fan. They're really good walking shoes now though. They're really light. I think they're a little bit of a faster shoe, maybe a track workout shoe, but these just are so well-rounded for me. I honestly just love them. I want to get my feet fitted for a carbon-plated shoe and see how that could possibly work for me. Just because, like, I'm just so interested in how a carbon-plated shoe would work. I know that they're free speed, they're 4 races, and, like, I'm not going to stop doing these. I mean, I gave up on my dreams of doing a full in May, and I'm going to do a half instead. And then October, we're going for a Boston qualifier. So let's keep grinding. Current conditions right now. It's fucking cold, man. Windy and cold. Easy 2 miles though before 12 tomorrow. Okay. So, we're almost 2 miles in. Running an average of about 750. It's a bit cold, really icy. My legs fucking hurt. Don't know why. But we're getting it done with. Looks good. It's super windy. Super windy, so we're still getting it done. 2 miles, 7:44. Painful 2 miles. Not gonna lie, it's not a good run today, but not everyone's gonna be good. So, yeah. God. Hi, Juno. Oh. Brutal. Oh. Typically when I come back, she gets clingy because she loves me. Right? You want to say hi to them? Oh. Oh. She loves you guys. Post 2 miles. Huh. Well, let's take a shower and let's get some questions done. Blammo. Yeah. Just finished a 4 to 6:30 class. Got out at about 5:30 though, so really short class at the end of the day, but time to walk home yet again. Something that happens to a lot of people is you get dysphoric, especially within the summer. So I do have to say, living in Connecticut, going to UConn, especially when it's fucking cold, there's not as much dysphoria because you're just covered. Like I'm literally in a jacket, so many layers. So I guess that's one pro. If people were considering going to UConn, is that half of the damn school year you're in baggy clothes because it's so fucking cold all the time. But yeah. A worm when you get home from classes or anywhere. She's so attached and she's the cutest little girl. Oh, aren't you so cute? You're gonna be famous, Juno. Everyone loves you. You just love her. I guess let's finally do some damn questions then. Questions. So, my name is Kason. In case you did not know that, I am transgender. I'm 20 years old and I go to the University of Connecticut for political science, but I want to go into more marketing and the business side to start, and then potentially maybe law school. What you guys don't know is a lot of you asked me questions, and let's just answer some of them. Went on to Instagram and I posted some of these questions, and we're going to answer a lot of them. One of the first questions that I see is, how do you stay disciplined to exercise every day? I used to be so into it. For me, exercise has been implemented to be one of the main pieces to like understanding myself and being able to come to terms with the fact that like I am transgender and that I am who I am, and like it's just a key component for me. So like when I wake up every single day, I think about, oh, what are my goals today? What am I going to do today in the gym? How many miles am I going to run? And like I think about it as my time for like therapy. It's kind of just my time to either like just be, or like it's just my time, you know what I'm saying? Like just to better myself in any way. The next question is, when you first began tea, did you at times feel like your voice didn't change at all? Yes. So when I first started tea, I genuinely did not think that there was even a single change. Like I didn't even think like that I was like growing any hair at all, because I wasn't in the beginning, at least. I didn't think that I was seeing any change within my body, within my muscle, within like just literally anything. I didn't see it in my voice, I didn't see it in my hair, like nothing. And so like I want you to know that if you are starting testosterone and you are starting like your journey of hormones and HRT, that like you don't need to see instant changes. Like just check, obviously, like give yourself like 6 months to notice a change, but like do those voice videos. It actually like makes such a difference. And like I was such a baby and my voice really sounded like that, because I look back at mine and I'm like, oh my god, my voice is crazy. Bro, why don't you have any scars after top surgery? Can you please enlighten me? So I got a keyhole surgery, so the scars on my nips are like right here, so it doesn't really show. I had a really, really small chest previously to surgery. I got it performed by Christopher Hughes out of Children's Connecticut. So it was honestly a life-changing surgery. So I just got keyhole, or like it's called like peri or something like that. End of story. I don't really have scars because I was fortunate to have a really small chest, but I think it was aided by the fact that I exercised quite a lot and that I was always moving or playing sports. I used to play soccer, and so I've always just had activity, and I think it kept my chest a little bit smaller as well, because I had like no weight on me. The next question is, how many weeks after top surgery did you start training again? So something that I really, really want to stress is the fact that recovery is so important, and that you need to listen to your doctors. So every single surgery is a little bit different, and every surgeon is going to recommend something that's a little bit different as well. And so for me, I waited about 5 weeks until I really started doing anything with weights, started running. I think I waited about 8 weeks to start running again comfortably, more than like a mile. But I did start doing cardio, I think like 3 weeks after. I didn't really listen myself, but I was like going insane, so I did it anyway. But I was cleared after 4 weeks. So that's like technically how long I was able to start. How did you feel like you could start becoming a guy and wearing their clothes? So I guess a good background is I've always been so masculine, like since I was like literally so young. When I first came out, I told my grandma. She was one of the first people that I ever told. I called her over the phone crying, like telling her that I couldn't like live a lie anymore. I couldn't just be someone that I wasn't, and like that I think that I was trans. And she obviously like, not obviously, but like she supported me, which is something that changed me, and it showed me like, oh, people can still love me for being me, and like making a change and just not being what the binary is and what my parents thought I was supposed to be. And I don't have to live up to these impossible expectations that I created for myself, and that I think that people have all this pressure for. Like that was my thinking. To be quite frank with you, I always wore these masculine clothes. Like I always tried to wear my brother's clothes when I was a peewee, and like my grandma used to tell me that like she would notice these things, like stealing my brother's shorts or stealing their pants and stealing their t-shirts. That was like odd behavior for someone who's 6 years old and supposed to be wanting to wear these fairy dresses, but I didn't want to. So I never felt this need to be wearing girly clothes. And like when I would, I'd be like bawling my eyes out. Like it was like not normal, to be honest with you. And so small things like those, you think back and you're like, wow, that was not normal. That is so, why is a child doing that? So like when I did turn 16, it was going through like my mask lesbian era and like just like being more masculine. Like that was like kind of my extreme transition to literally only wearing men's clothes. And like it was just so easy to be like, oh, I'm just like masculine, I'm just a lesbian, like haha, like fitting the stereotype. So I only wear these clothes and I only wear Gymshark and I only wear like what my brothers wear. Like it was so easy to have that transformative experience and just blame it on being a masked lesbian. But in fact, I was just a guy the entire time. It was aided by the fact that there was like this like lesbian uprising and there was masks and femmes, and like I guess it was just more normal to just to wear guy clothes and like just go out and buy some and like slowly, gradually just get more and more masculine as the times progress. So the next question, this one's a little bit deep. Have you ever had an anxiety disorder? If so, are you on meds for it? I'm trying, but it's not working. I've struggled with extreme anxiety. Every single day I wake up and think there's something wrong with me, or like I overthink absolutely everything. I want to make sure like everything's okay. I wake up and convince myself that someone hates me. I'll think that my girlfriend's mad at me when she's literally just sitting there on the couch and she's smiling at me, and I'll be like, you're looking at me weird, I did something wrong. Like it's really bad, and it's actually affected my life quite a lot. And I think that my transition did not help because I have had extreme anxiety, especially through my transition. I wanted to avoid everything. I'm very avoidant sometimes, and like being able to avoid everyone through my anxiety just seemed like a good coping mechanism. So I will be honest with you, like I did go on anxiety meds. I was on Zoloft for a while. I did do Prozac because I'm also like diagnosed with depression as well and anxiety. And right now I'm on Vilazodone, and I've been going on and off of it, kind of waning through and just trying to just do what I can. But therapy's helped me a lot the most, to be honest with you. Next question. How's the process of changing your name legally? I'm scared, but really want to. So it's different every state. Every state has different laws for changing your name, gender, etc. So it's state by state or even country by country. So if you're in a different country, it's going to be different than what I did. Basically, I just went online, I typed in like, literally was like typed up like Connecticut name change, and a lot of forms came up. Gotta do some research, fill out some forms, file like your name, what it was and you want it to be. And then you go to a probate court, and they do a little hearing for you, ask you why, like want to know like everything, etc. And they do a little hearing, ask you a few questions, and then blammo, they smack the thing and they're like, that's your name now. And then you get a new birth certificate with a new name, you can get a new license, social security, etc. So it can be really simple, but you have to do your research, like really kind of look into it, you know. I want to start T, but I'm kind of lost. Do you have any advice on the process or who to talk to? My best advice for you is to look up your local endocrinologist and simply just go through a doctor, because if you go through an endocrinologist, they're not only going to like legally assign you everything and, you know, give you like medication that's not like spiked or anything, I guess one could say, like doesn't have like anything that's harmful for you in it. They'll be able to assign everything, assign needles, syringes, etc. So just look up your local endocrinologist and like HRT doctor, and they should start the process. I really do recommend that because they will give you like top surgery recommendations. They'll send out stuff for other doctors for any like surgery that you do need and that you do think is most accommodating for yourself. So next question. How did your parents react when you came out? When I came out as trans, it was a bit of an adverse reaction, unfortunately. My dad was not very happy, and my mom, she kind of just sat down like this and just asked me why. Like, what are you feeling? Why do you think this is you? Like, why do you think you're trans? Like, etc. And like, she took a very calm approach, and I really do appreciate it now. My ex was a part of the process. She was sitting right there next to me, like my current girlfriend at the time, but now ex. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt a bit pressured from her. Like, I felt like she had this expectation that I needed to come out to everyone immediately. And so, unfortunately, I wasn't ready to tell my parents, but I did. And my dad had a very bad reaction. My mom didn't seem to have a bad reaction at first, but then there was just a lot of distance between my parents and I. So I went to boarding school, and I kind of just hid out at boarding school in my ex's house while I gave them the time to process, and I gave myself the time to process. And like, I kind of was absent for a long while, and it sucked for my brothers because I have four, but it sucked for them. And eventually, like, they did realize, you know, like, it sucks not having the kid in our life, and they've slowly accepted me, have slowly adhered to the changes of like hormones, top surgery even. They both came, and they came with my dog, who unfortunately passed away, but they were there, they were supportive, and it took a while. So give your parents the time to process what you're saying, and like get rid of the dichotomy that like you're gonna be this person that they dreamed of when you were born, and like that you're gonna be in this like dress, or you're gonna be like in this suit, like etc. Like just like let them have the time to process the fact that like they're not exactly what they thought that you would be, because when you are born they have these expectations, like they have like these things and these accomplishments for you that are preset, even though you don't even know it. And so it's really hard to understand, like find this perspective, because it does take a long time. But like you do have to understand, like your parents, as harsh as they could be, like they might not react great, and you have to understand why. And unfortunately sometimes it leads to not even having them in your life. And like for those of you who do have that situation, I'm so sorry, because you should be loved for being you, and there should be no fucking reason that a parent does not love you, because you are human at the end of the day, and you are you, and that's the most beautiful thing. Like showing like your true smile, happiness, etc. Like that's so beautiful, and I don't understand why parents want to miss out on that. So my best advice is like just be honest with them and give them some time to process, and then hopefully return to the conversation and say like, this is who I am, and like do what is best for you regardless of them, because they are not living your life. You are. You have to wake up in your skin every single day. They don't, unfortunately. And I wish that some parents did and they would understand, but just do what is best for you and just be safe, all right? How did you talk to your family about starting a medical transition? Unfortunately, it wasn't really a talk. It was more so, I'm doing this. I scheduled an appointment, and just so you know, like I'm going to this. I was 18 at the time, so I could make my own medical decisions, and I'm considered a legal adult at that point, and I scheduled it all on my own. I did the name change on my own. I did my appointments on my own. I found my surgeon on my own, and it's all been aided by my endocrinologist helping me. But I want you to know that like you do have support from doctors, and they will guide you through, especially when you are a legal adult. So it was kind of just more like, I'm telling you, I'm not asking you. Any tips for someone wanting to start running? My best tip is to go to your local running store, get your feet fitted, buy the shoes. They're going to be expensive, unfortunately, and then just do it. Start really gradual, and if you want, you can start training with me. I can train you to get into running, get into half marathons, full marathons, maybe even ultras, and we'll do the journey together if you want. But if not, just take baby steps and be patient, and just like force yourself. Unfortunately, it kind of sucks. So next question. Does weight and amount of body fat affect the results of your top surgery? So I'm not going to say I'm the most educated on this question, but from what I did learn from my doctors is that the less weight that you have and like the healthier that you are, the better you're going to recover. I don't know if it explicitly will like affect your results, but I do know it will help with your recovery. I don't know about the results, and like talk to your doctor, so they know what's best. I don't. I'm just some stranger who just goes to college, not even for anything medical. So what was your starting dose of tea, and when you started, and what it is now? Just curious. So when I first started, I was at a really low dose. I was at 0.25, and then I've recently gone up to like 0.4, and that's what I've been doing pretty much weekly for the last like year and a half now. So it's a slow process, but 0.4 is what I do. Post-op tips for recovering keyhole top surgery and getting back to being active again. One of the main things that helped me with my recovery was having my girlfriend around. We live together. This is our beautiful place, and we share our little cat that you saw. But just having her support, and then going for walks, even if they were like literally like 0.2 miles, going for a daily walk, it helped me like kind of just get back into the flow of like still moving, but like just letting my body recover and like just letting it happen. So it was like these really small walks that helped me get active again. And like I think my next tip would be literally like just not moving, and like if you have to take the like whatever they prescribe for you, like just take it. Unfortunately, like it will help. Oh, and be so on top of your medication. Be so on top of it, because if you don't, you're gonna regret it. Oh, and then lastly is I would get laxatives. That was like the most uncomfortable part right here. So if you can get laxatives, do it. It helps. I had magnesium citrate. Like my asshole was like, it was bad. Can you give advice to improve nutritional habits? So I used to have a really, really bad eating disorder. I weighed 97 pounds at 5'7", and I was skin and bones. I was not eating. I would eat half an apple a day and a coffee, black coffee, and it was really bad. So my nutritional habits for staying healthy, etc., and to improve whatever is just to be mindful, like understand that like you do need protein, carbs, fat, and like fruits and vegetables, and just like making sure that you did have all of those like at least within a whole day, or and for multiple meals, at least 2 of your 3 meals of the day, or even snacks. So yeah, just be mindful, but don't control. Like, don't be strict. You don't need to be. Life is about eating. Staying alive is about eating, so enjoy what you eat. How do you stay lean and muscular on T? I gain fat regardless of fitness regimen. So basically, I guess one could say that I stay pretty lean because I run a lot. I run and lift on the daily, and I do kind of watch what I eat. I eat, majority protein, kind of balance my carbs and my fats, and just be mindful of it. And so just that constant activity, I average about like 30,000 steps a day, 20,000, 30,000 steps a day. So it's a lot of cardio, and just maintaining that and just being healthy, I guess, is the best way to put it. But yeah, get your steps in. Get your steps in. How do you stay consistent with running? I stay consistent with running by setting these goals and these expectations. Like, I really, really want to qualify for the Boston Marathon. That is a dream of mine, and that means I got to keep running, keep building up my cardiovascular health and my endurance and my stamina. So being able to run and just keep running every single day is kind of the goal, and you just kind of got to remind yourself, even when you don't want to do it, that you're doing it for something, and you're doing it for yourself to better yourself every single day. So it's worth it. It is worth it, and I kind of just remind myself, even when I don't want to, that I'm doing it for a reason. So, are you a BPN fan? Follow any other athletes? I love Nick Bear. I follow him on everything. I watch his Instagram stories every single day. I've not missed a single video. I listen to every single podcast. So one could say that I am a fan, and they kind of keep my motivation going. So what does it feel like growing a mustache / like itchy or uncomfortable? Any facial hair? So to be honest with you, like I kind of just woke up one day and saw hair, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But I would never say it's itchy. I kind of play with it sometimes, and like sometimes it does get annoying, and I'm like, oh, I probably should shave that. It feels a little long. Are you bisexual? Yeah, I am. How did you pick your name? I unfortunately really wanted my name to be Lucas, but my mom did not want that, so she ended up sending me a spreadsheet of like 500 different names, and we only came to like one agreement, and it was Kason. So that's kind of how we came to a final consensus. One day when I was just scrolling through it on the counter, and I just looked at her and said Kason, and she was like, I like that. And I looked at my dad, I was like, how's that? And he goes, I don't care. And I was like, all right, cool, that's my name. It was pretty much that way. A big question that so many people ask me is, does having top surgery make your bottom dysphoria worse? So I guess I'll go into a little story about, I guess, bottom surgery. At the moment, I'm not really interested in it, but I'm not going to say that I'm not mindful of that it might change. I will be honest, I don't know if I will eventually want it, but as of right now, no. I will say that the dysphoria did get a little bit worse when I did get top surgery. I started having some dreams of what it was like to have like a male, So I would say, yeah, it has made it a little bit worse, but I'm not sure I'm really interested in getting that surgery yet. But those who do have it, I'm pretty jealous of. I'm not going to lie. She wants to say hi. She wants to answer some questions. What's your name? It's Juno. How do you push through the moments when your motivation is totally drained? I think about how the sun is still going to rise whether I like it or not, and that the only person that can make the change for myself is myself. And so I might as well as try and better myself every single day, even if there is no motivation, because what else am I doing? Let's be honest. Nothing that productive when I'm not feeling motivated. So I might as well just push myself, because I do feel better afterwards anyway. And I just remind myself of that again, that I have shit to do. I have goals to do. And it's just this constant like battle of like, you have things to do, so just do it. And then I do. It's kind of like forcing that discipline upon yourself. Ever thought of running ultras, like 50 milers plus? I've thought about it, but I don't know if I could do it. I know that's a lot of doubt, and especially after preaching that, like, you just do it. But God, maybe. My answer is maybe. We'll see. Maybe one day. How do I tell my family that I'm trans? You just be honest with them. Unfortunately, you just kind of have to say, like, this is how I'm feeling, and this is who I am, and you just unfortunately have to be honest. You just have to have this honest conversation, and just prepare for the good and the bad of what could happen, and make sure that you're in a safe position. So that's my best advice. Someone goes, why wear a sports bra after surgery? I'm just starting out with T. Is it still necessary after surgery? So unfortunately, I have not put on a sports bra since before surgery, and I will not be putting one on for a while. Someone asked, what gives you courage? I would just say my identity. The fact that I'm trans, it sucks. It's a lot, but you know what? I feel like it gives me a lot of courage and a lot of perspective just to live, and just being myself and inspiring other people is kind of why I'm here. So why not be courageous about it and just be honest with the world and myself? I think that is all the questions that I have for now. I hope that I was able to settle some of your minds and answer some questions that maybe some of you were thinking about. But my name is Kason again. If you would like to, you could train with me. I can teach you how to run. We can teach you how to lift. True form is my passion. And so training link below, and it would mean the world to me if you subscribed. So thank you, my guys. I hope you enjoyed and got everything out of this. We'll do another question video soon. So if you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, DM me on Snapchat, TikTok, etc. Thanks.